Okay. Topic for today is a lean canvas model. So what is this a lean canvas model? Okay, or lean model canvas. Okay. So what is a business model? I think this business model is not totally new to you all. Those, okay, I'm sure you already seen it, the business model in your ENT 600 class. All right, in your ENT 600 class, there is one topic that you need to do your BMC or business model canvas. So basically, it's very similar, right? Basically, it's very similar. This model canvas is. All right, in your ENT 600, okay, I think for CS255, you already take your ENT 600 in semester 5. And for CS251, you are currently taking it this semester ENT 600. And this is already week 6. So I think BMC should be covered during week 4 or week 5 or week 6 during this time also. So this is not totally something that you have not heard of. So anyway, we go briefly. What is business model? All right. We go briefly. What is this business model? Okay, the term business model refer to a company's plan for making a profit. Okay. So in any business venture, all right, the first thing why you want to do business because you want to make a profit. Okay, so how you want to make a profit, you must have a plan. So we call it as a business plan. Okay, so we call it as a business plan. So the term business model refer to company's plan for making a profit. A model canvas is a shared language for describing, visualizing, assessing, and changing business model. Okay. It describes the rationale of how an organization creates, deliver, and capture value. So it's very important for a business to know, to justify what the organization wants to create, what they want to deliver, and what are their value. Okay, it identifies the product or services the business plan to sell. Okay, you want to start a business. So definitely you need to identify what type of services or products that you want to sell. Okay, or you plan to sell. Okay, it is identified. Also is identify your target market, who you want to sell. When you want to sell something, you must have a target, who you want to sell to, and any anticipated expenses or what type of expenses will be involved, okay, for you to come up with the services or the product. Okay, so business models are important for both new and established businesses. Okay, so regardless whether you starting a new business or your business is already established, business model still relevant and important. Okay, for the new business, they help new developing companies attract investment, recruit the talent, and motivate management and staff. Okay, so for the for the new business, it's very important that you have a business model because you need to attract investor. All right, you attract investor, and then you need to know what type of talent you need to recruit. All right, as well as to motivate your team as well as your staff. And for the established businesses, should regularly update their business plan or they will fail to anticipate trends and challenges ahead. Okay. For the established businesses, it is also very crucial for them to have business model and business plan being updated regularly. All right. Because trend are changes. All right. Trend are changes, demand are changes, and so on. So if a company don't keep update with the business plan, so they may falls behind. Right? Diorang kata tinggal lah with all the new technology, the new trend and so on. Okay, and the business plan helps investor evaluate companies that interest them. Okay, so for the investor, they also when they want when they are interested, all right, when they are interested to invest into that particular businesses. So this business model is one tool for them to evaluate. All right. Okay. All right. So why business model? All right. Why business model? Why you need to learn business model in CSP 650? Okay, this is the project class, but why suddenly you need to learn business model? Why you need to do the business models? Okay, I think you already aware that UITM tagline is mengeluarkan graduan yang mempunyai entrepreneurial skills or entrepreneurial mind, right? That is the mission for UITM. Okay, so for that, okay, the final year project CSP 650. Okay, in the beginning of the semester, I already show you the CLO or the learning outcome. Okay, so one of the learning outcome, all right, one of the learning outcome. So, okay, one of the learning outcome is mapped into an entrepreneurial domain. Okay, one of the outcome is mapped into entrepreneurial domain, which is uh, outcome number 3. Okay, outcome number 3. Propose the commercial potential for the undertaken solution. Right? Hmm. Um, okay, hold on. Why I have do I have a student from other apa CS2 230 and CS253? Are you some of you are here, isn't it? Because I've seen students from not from my class here now, so I assume they are from the 230 and uh, 253. Yes, madam. Okay. All right. Okay. I thought you have class this morning, so it's okay. All right. Okay, so for the CSP 650, okay, we have the learning outcome that map into entrepreneurial skills. This is a requirement, okay? This is a requirement from the from the KPM, okay, from the Kementerian Pengajian Tinggi, KPT, that all program must be mapped into all the 9 domain. Okay, now 11. Okay, to the 11 domain. So one of the domain is entrepreneurial. So CSP 650 is mapped into the entrepreneurial. All right, one of the learning outcome. So for that, there must be an assessment. All right, there must be an assessment. Okay, there must be an assessment to assess the entrepreneurial activity in our class. Okay, in our class. So to measure the entrepreneurial skills, there are normally, all right, normally it can be done through business plan, which is this is the one that been used for your ENT 600. Okay, as well as business model canvas, also being used for your ENT 600. And another tools that can be used are lean model canvas. There are many other tools, but this is the three common tools used to measure the entrepreneurial skills. So that's why for this class, we need to learn, all right, we need to learn, or we need to do the lean model canvas. Okay. Okay, so lean model canvas. This is the story of a lean model canvas. What is lean model canvas? Who come up with lean model canvas? So on. I'm not going to go one by one on the history of the story of the history of the lean model canvas. You can read it later. All right, because now I am more. I want to focus on how actually you want to fill up. Okay, you fill up this lean model canvas, right? Okay, so this is lean model canvas. Okay, canvas by the name, when we talk about canvas, this is mean that this is a blank. Okay, this is a blank space, all right, or a blank paper, all right. So this blank paper with elements, okay, with the identified elements here. We have 9 identified elements. So entrepreneur, okay, entrepreneur, or we call it startup, okay, startup need to identify what to be filled up for each of these block. Okay, we have 9 blocks. So each of it, by the name canvas, is mean that the entrepreneur or the students need to fill up. Okay, to fill up. Okay, so it's okay. This LMC actually variation of the BMC. Okay, you can read about it in the previous slide that give I showed just now, but I'm not going to read one by one. Okay, so you see here, all right, you see here, this is a canvas. We start from the left, okay, we start from the left, so problem, solution, okay, problem, and then at the bottom here we have existing alternatives, and then we have solution, and then we have key metrics, and then we have unique value proposition, And then we have high level concept, and we have unfair advantage, we have channel, and we have customer segment. And at the bottom there, we have early adopters. Okay. And then we have the bottom block, we have cost structure, and we have revenue streams. Okay. So how to fill up, all right? How to fill up the canvas, all right? So we start from the first block just now, which is your problem. Okay, we start with the problem. Okay, we start with the problem. So first we have to define what is the problem, right? What is the problem? Before we get started, the main question is, do you have a problem worth solving? Not just any problem, but a problem that worth solving. Okay, in our case, CSP 650, you already have a problem. And the problem supposedly have been discussed with your supervisor or with your class lecturer. Okay, so I assume that problem is worth solving because it's been discussed. Okay, for CSP 650. So this is not something that you just need to do. You already have it. Okay, so if so, the first step is to brainstorm who could be your customer or user. All right, so this part also, your customer or your user, supposedly you already have it in your mind or when you are coming up with the problem, you already identify who has that problem. Okay, who has that problem? So supposedly you don't have any problem with that anymore. Okay, you don't have with that problem. It means that you don't need to find a new problem here. All right, because that problem statement is something that you already been think about and discuss with your supervisor since last semester. Okay, and when we talk about customer, here is customer are those who pay for your product. All right, when you have a problem, you want to solve that problem, the customer you have in mind is those who willing to pay for your product. Okay. All right. In comparison to business model canvas, if you are talking about BMC that you use it for your ENT 600 class, the lean canvas is designed to focus on one customer group. Okay, therefore create a separate lean canvas for every customer group. If you have different customer group, then you need to create different lean canvas. I have a example in the end of this slide. And then early adopters. Okay, early adopters means that who, okay, here is where you describe your ideal customer and who will adopt your product or service right away. Yes, you already identify your customer, but among that customer, who will be the first to are willing to use your product because your product or your services are new one. Alright, biasalah kan kalau benda baru, many people reluctant. Alright, just like you all too, when there's something new, you all a bit reluctant to use. You will say, okay, I want to see how actually is working, how that system is working. I want to see how other people, ada masalah tak? Okay, because some customers, though yes, that service or product are suitable for them, are up for them, but they are not willing to try it yet. until they can see the results from, or the review from the other people, right? So this, the early adopter, that the one that might help with spreading the words, the one that giving the review, the one that will tell other people about your product. Okay, and then in the problem, we have existing alternative. You have a problem, yes. But does this problem memang tak ada orang yang pernah solve ke? Ataupun dah pernah ada orang solve? Okay. Tapi in different way, alright? Are there any product or services which solve your business problem? What are the current solution available today? Okay, map out your competitors landscape and how people are currently adopting or not their solution. Alright? So yes, you have a problem and they may already have alternative solution. Okay, so that is what we call it as your competitor. Takkan tak ada langsung kan, orang dah buat, dah try to solve that particular problem. Maybe they dah ada dah, but they using it differently. So you want to use the different approach or something like that. So for that, what are the current solution and how your the customer adopting or not adopting? Okay, if they're adopting, why? And if for those who are not adopting, why? All right. So that is early alternative, existing alternative, sorry. Okay. And then create solution. Okay, this is your solution. Based on the identified problem, ideate and define a solution to every problem. Okay, maybe you can list 3 most important features for a solution. All right. Describe what makes your business innovative and creative inside your field or industry. Okay. And then define your unique value proposition. The unique value proposition is a clear message that describes the advantage of your offer, what makes you different and distinguish you from the competitors or from your other competitor. So here in the nutshell, a value proposition is a clear statement that offers 3 things: relevancy, quantified value, and differentiation. All right. So in the relevancy is explain how your product solves customer problem. Okay. You already identify the problem, right? You already identify the problem. So now how your product solve that problem, that customer problem. Okay. And then quantified value is deliver specific benefits. In what way? Okay. In what way your problem, your solution or your product or your services is going to be delivered to the customer. Okay. In what way? How? All right. And differentiation, tell the ideal customer why they should buy from you and not from the competitor. So what make you different, right? What make you different from your either existing competitors or competitors, the future competitors, let's say, all right? So that is the value proposition. So what make you unique? Okay, let's say, all right, examples. Examples, let's say you want to, the customer problem is now, that you find out that the customer is very hard for them to, it's not very hard, okay. Now customer finding difficulty in nak cari makanan, let's say fast food lah, okay, fast food, okay, it's easy one, alright, fast food. Okay, so you want to come up with eatery, okay, you nak buka stall ke whatsoever lah, contohnya mungkin lah you nak buka stall burger ke, stall Korean food ke whatsoever, ya. Okay, so now you want to tell people that you have this product or services. Okay, so what you going to tell your customer why your product or services is unique from the other product available. All right, what is the uniqueness? Okay, and then uniqueness in term, it can be in term of the product itself, dia berlainan, mungkin lain cita rasa, mungkin. Okay, alright, I have you all stay put ya, kalau I kalau I disconnect, okay, you just stay put, I will masuk balik because my time is almost up. Okay, so how you want to tell, okay, we back to the unique value proposition. How you want to tell your customer that your, let's say your burger is berlainan dengan burger yang ada dekat stall dekat ujung jalan tu. Okay, let's say you buka stall dekat sini, kat Sempang ni, but there already stall juga dekat stall burger dekat 2 Sempang yang kat depan tu. Okay, they already have that. But you want to open it at this Sempang, okay, or this junction. So how can you tell the customer that your burger is different? In what way is different? Okay, is it in term of the taste, in term of the burger tu tahan lama ke, lagi murah ke? So macam mana you nak bagi tahu? Alright, so you need to find what is the unique value proposition ni. Alright. Okay. And then another thing is think about the channels. Okay, what are the channels you want to use to reach your customer? Okay, kalau let's say you buka, you nak jual burger tadi kan? So how you want to sell it to the customer? Okay, one way kalau burger tu macam very straightforward lah. Okay, you buka stall kat tepi jalan. So how the customer can reach you? Dia kena pergi your stall lah kan? Okay, for them to get your product. Alright. Other than that, is there any other channels that you can use? Alright, maybe you boleh kata you buat delivery ke whatsoever lah. Okay, so and then how do you want to tell your customer about your product tu semua tu? How do you want to tell? Maybe you use your social media ke, you use billboard ke, whatever the advertisement channel that you can use of. Alright, so here let's say they say that define inbound channels that lead customer to your offer, like search engine optimization, CEO. This one is, let's say, something if you have a website or you have online services or something like that. So how you want, if this is, okay, let's say you come up with a mobile apps, alright? You come up with the mobile apps. So how you want to tell customers that you have these mobile apps that can solve their problem? Okay, so maybe through the search engine, alright, the search engine optimization, or maybe through white papers, maybe through a blog, social media, and anything. Okay, and outbound channel like advertisement, maybe adalah maybe you buat calls ke, you hantar SMS ke, uh, anything, alright, anything. Or you masuk expo or convention or anything to tell people that you have these services, alright. Okay, and then pricing and revenue streams. Okay, every business mesti ada revenue streams. Kalau you tak ada revenue streams, macam mana you dapat untung? How do you want to get profit? Tadi we said that business plan is the plan to make a profit, right? So to make a profit, so you have to how to put the pricing. Okay, let's say if we take the very simple uh, very simple example just now, yang kita jual burger tu, kan? So kalau burger tu actually is because it's tangible, so it's easy to give a price. You can say that, alright, the